Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Rimworld Zombie Survival. Take a look at that base. Our group of survivors has been plenty busy enough as I've been progressing the colony a bit, just trying to lay things out and think a couple things through. Obviously we've got all of the bedrooms set up, which you guys get to see a bit. Cornfields, stuff like that, but now I've got the bots down here working hard to take apart the old structure that used to stand here, leaving behind plenty of resources that we're going to be burning up here as we create a stockpile area. And that's going to be one of the main pushes for this episode, getting the whole stockpile area set up. We're also going to make a push for microelectronics, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do there. And then that'll allow us to build the orbital trade beacons, which we're going to need. High-tech research bench, so we'll probably get a research station set up someplace around here. And a comms console, which is another thing I really want because we got to start getting some wealth out of this colony if we're going to stand a chance at surviving the raids that are probably going to be heading this way any time now. You saw how many mechs dropped in that mechanoid cluster there. I figure it's only a matter of time before raids start popping up on the map. There's not very many zombies, so if a raid does appear, they're not going to have too many zombies to contend with, and that could definitely create a problem for us, especially because we got a lot of resources in here. I think we're going to be good for a little bit, but at some point we're going to have to start venturing out, and I got to figure out what direction I want to tunnel out of to tear down a building. But I'm not too worried about that now. We're already connected to some of these buildings down here, so I'm thinking we'll start removing a lot of the guts of some of these buildings for resources when we need them. I want to grab some of these batteries and stuff too once we get a little power station set up. But yeah, this here that I've laid out is going to be our new storage area, meaning that all of the goods that have been sitting here, I've been making room, trying to expand the steel stockpile, stone stockpile, stuff like that. All of these goods are going to be able to be moved into here so they can be traded away for silver or eventually utilized in the colony or even broken down for their basic components. The vitals monitors all waiting to be installed in a hospital. We've got some crafting stations in here that I'm going to be building and putting down once we set all of that up. Infinite chem reactors, because we're going to be building a little chem fuel factory to be able to make mortar shells. And maybe even use chem fuel to power chem fuel powered generators and stuff like that. Especially because we didn't get any vanometric power cells. So chem fuel powered generators might be our only real fuel source, real reliable fuel source, I should say. We could go wind and solar, but this would take up a lot less space. And if we've got the infinite chem reactors, then we might be able to keep these up and running so long as we build a big enough factory. A lot of, even though no vanometric power cells on the map, this is the least amount of vanometric power cells I've ever found in one of my playthroughs of this. A lot of infinite chem reactors kicking around, so many that I just stopped grabbing them because there's just a bunch of them. So we are going to go back out hunting for more at some point, but not anytime soon. I'll go ahead and unpause the game now so the bots can get to it. They've got most of the flooring removed. They still got a little bit of floor they've got to remove here. I'll actually go ahead and grab my guy up and have him remove. That is not what I wanted him to do. I want him to remove this bit of flooring here. So that way they won't, hopefully won't build on it. I see they're already kind of heading for it. Let me actually do this to be a little bit easier. We'll just have him prioritize removing these 3 floor areas. And they're getting some stuff installed. Like, I think for the floor inside of the storage area here, I'm not entirely concerned with what it is. So I'm just going to go with paved tile. Uses up a lot of our steel because it's such a big area, but we've got plenty of steel right now, as you can see. We don't want to get rid of too much of our steel because we're going to need it for crafting a lot of things as we progress forward. Mending kits, stuff like that, but we can still utilize that. Now they're dropping orbital trade beacons down. I've got 2 of them going in here. These are orbital trade beacons we had found on the map. We can't build any just yet, but they're going to go ahead and get these 2 installed. Now, this actual layout here, you can see the orbital trade beacons. We've got some areas here that aren't actually covered. I'll probably go ahead and put some trade beacons down. So this 100% of this is storage and tradable storage at that. And I do know that I need to build columns or something as well to hold up the wall, or the roof, I should say, because it's spanning too large of a distance. I hadn't really figured out 100% how I wanted to do that. I think my best bet's just going to be placing a column probably here. And another column over here. And it looks like those are going to, if I'm seeing that wall correctly there, they're going to work. Yes, perfect. I think that should get all of it. So one marble column on the each side of that. Now, I talked about, on tops of the comms console, putting in a trade ship area to land, an area not just for trade ships, but for the quest ships and everything to land, and installing an area for things to drop. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that all down here. I hadn't really decided where I wanted that, but this kind of makes sense. And then another thing is I was doing a little bit of research about how I could get rid of this water and mud here so I can build in these areas. And we need a moisture pump to do that, which I've kind of played around before in the past with. But we're going to get one of those as well. That's going to require microelectronics. So let's go ahead and actually get the microelectronics. I did find, or one of you guys actually in the comment section, found the tech-proof sub-persona core, which is going to get us a free tech. So I'm going to take Dr. Phil and go ahead and have him use that to get us the microelectronics tech out of everything here. Besides maybe the multi-analyzer, that's probably one of the most important things. The multi-analyzer advancing us onto these better techs here, but there we go. We'll use it on microelectronics. Maybe we'll find another one of those or be able to trade for another one of those later on. But now we got microelectronics, so that's good. I want to get the moisture pump. It does require machining, and it does require a high-tech research bench. We don't have either of those yet. So let's go ahead and get machining. I think actually I wouldn't mind getting mortars here soon. At what point? Okay, we still got a little ways for that. Same with gunsmithing, because we want to be able to make some of our own guns eventually, our own flak armor, the mortars, and then turrets. We got the mini turrets, autocannon turret. I believe there is better turrets kicking around as well. I just don't know where. Well, either way, we've got the deep water bridges, heavy bridges, which you can just construct. That would actually get us over the mud and stuff like that, but I'd rather just moisture pump it out and be done with it. So what do I want to go for next? We don't need tree sewing because we don't need wood for a bit. Mending would be pretty useful. We get a mending workbench. We can actually repair a lot of our armor and weapons, which is going to be pretty important at some point. But you know what? Let's go for machining because, like I said, I want to get the moisture pumps pretty quickly. The moisture pumps are going to be what allows us to start getting this stuff pumped. It takes a long time to pump mud and water out of an area. So we might as well get that rolling. Now I got a really interesting suggestion in the comment section, and I actually loved it. And it basically, the suggestion was taking one of these mountains that were nearby us and kind of tunneling to it and turning it into a mine shaft, but inevitably changing it over to a storage area for explosives like mortar shells, chem fuel, stuff like that. I actually really like that idea because, like the commenter suggested, raids can't drop through here, and it also is less likely to take a mortar hit during a siege. So that's a really, really good idea for our explosives to put them in an area like that. So this is the biggest mountain here, and I'm thinking this is the one I'd like to do it with. We've also got this smaller mountain here, so I was kind of deciding which one made the most sense. Maybe because I think I'd like to utilize both of these. So I thought maybe make this one the storage one and then turn this one into like a power station or something, even though it's outside the base. So it's a little at risk of maybe a mining zombie mining through it or sappers or something, but it would be protected from a siege or from raiders or mechs dropping in. We'd have to cool it down, obviously, so we don't get infestations or stuff like that, but definitely a really cool thought, and I know it's something I'm going to be playing around with the more I keep advancing. I haven't 100% figured out exactly what I want to do, but I definitely like that idea. All right, so we're going to take some power conduit. Let's get it. We'll just go ahead and stretch across. Maybe. I know this is all going away here in a bit. I got to figure out actually how I'm going to be. See, I got to figure out the power station and stuff, so I don't 100% know how I want to do all of that. Let's just run this across here. Like so. And then if we have to, we could just run it a little bit out to pick up those. It's funny, I got the invisible power conduit, but I really have yet to use it. I've actually found that I like kind of seeing the power conduit because it gives me a real understanding of where power is running through the base and if I have issues. I got the invisible thinking I was going to like it, but I haven't even touched it. Maybe at some point I'll play around with it. But there we go. They'll get those power conduits up, and then we'll have all of these orbital trade beacons, and I'll start creating stockpiles. That means that all of this stuff's going to have to move over there, and the hauling bots can handle that. They'll be very, very busy doing it, but I'm definitely confident in their ability to conquer that task. And now I can actually build another orbital trade beacon, so let's take a look at that. And if I put one here in the center, I can't actually get it in the center. I have to go off center no matter what, which I guess is no big deal. But that'll get everything at least dealt with. I can't believe I can't put it in the center. That's gonna set me right off. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and place it there. If you zoom out far enough and you look right here, you don't see it. It's amazing. So they'll go ahead and build that at least, and then we can actually get the comms console set up. Funny enough, I never remember where anything is in this game. And then the high-tech research bench, so I gotta lay out a little research area too here at some point. All right, the comms console. So I haven't decided if I want the comms console to be in the room with all of the goods. It doesn't really matter. Unlike Dwarf Fortress, where your colonists actually have to bring the goods to a spot to trade. In here, as long as you get the orbital trade beacon, you can trade anything within the range of the beacon. So it doesn't actually make any sense to have the comms console within the stockpile zone. I used to do that, and I've kind of over the last couple weeks decided that that's not really, it doesn't make any sense to do that. So I'm thinking of building just a little room outside here for the comms console and putting it right next to the drop zone and the landing pad just for aesthetic looks. And kind of rolling with that. All right, perfect. They're getting the floor torn down there, and I see that I'm going to have to run power out to this one as well, so I'll just do it like that. It sucks that it's not in the center. I wonder if, I know that if I had laid it out, I didn't lay out the center one because I didn't think about it. I know that if I had laid the center one out better, it would have come out right. You know what? There's actually a trick around this, and it's going to take a little bit of resources is what it's going to take, but it will actually work, and that would be basically just taking one of these and putting it down here. This is crazy, but hear me out. And then just going ahead and building another one up here. That's actually, I feel like, a better idea. Not to mention I can actually run the power through the wall and it'll reach. So I think I'm just going to do that because it's setting me off right now that they're not lining up. And I'll just run. I was going to run the power conduit all the way around anyways because I like to do that because it lets me jump my other buildings off of different structures, so I have less power conduit running along paths. I probably will use the invisible conduit, but chances are I'm not going to use it until after I really got the base layout down, because then I'll replace just all the ones that are crossing the road with these invisible. All right, let's go ahead and do slate tile right around here and just fill this in, because that's kind of part of the base area. Same with right here. This isn't going to be anything anyway, so they might also make that all slate tile. And make this slate tile here in front of the door, at least where it's connecting to other slate tile. And then we'll go ahead and do all of our paved tile. But even though I'm doing paved tile in this whole area, I can still go ahead and get, boy, our bots are going to be slammed for a bit. I can still go ahead and get the stockpile set up. You know what? I'll actually wait, because they'll burn up enough steel. Look at all the steel. They'll burn up enough of the steel around here. It'll be less hauling, so yeah, I'll just let them get that done. I still hear gunshots, and I don't know. Oh, we've still got one centipede chilling on the map killing zombies. You know, Randy has been awfully quiet. Aside from spawning zombies around the map, he hasn't, and then the mechanoid cluster, he hasn't done a whole lot, and even the questing system has been fairly quiet. Let's go take a look at the world map real quick. See if there's anything nearby. So we've got our city here, Last Hope. That's the doctor request here. The presence of a doctor is requested, so we could send a doctor there. It's actually not that far, and I wouldn't mind doing that. We've got the Brotherhood village, which is hostile to us. Black Trasma. Not very many of these like us. I'll look at this quest again. Okay, so it's not actually... We've got another abandoned city here, it looks like. No, there's a faction there. There should be abandoned cities on the map, though. And if you go to abandoned cities, it looks like there's actually factions in all of these. Sometimes you go to these abandoned cities, you can get gear from them. Things like vanometric power shells, maybe. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to send somebody there. Dr. Phil or somebody. It's not a half bad idea. Okay, they're getting the flooring removed. All of this broken asphalt's going to be replaced with I'm going to do flagstone for it. I know you don't get resources back when you deconstruct flagstone, but I don't plan on doing that. Oh, we got a new prime counselor, or at least the that faction does. Yeah, so I know you don't get resources back from flagstone, but I'm still going to do it anyways. I'll just pick something I don't use a lot, like sandstone maybe for the middle, or I could just use slate because there's a ton of slate on the map. So I'll figure out what I actually want to use. Basically slate tile for the outside, like sidewalk looking area, similar to how the cities automatically generate, but then just going with maybe a slate tile in the center for that. So they're tearing up all this roadway here because I don't even want that roadway there, actually, because there's just no point in having it when it's all buildable space. We are sticking with the 6 wide, which is what I settled on. Last episode I had kind of a debate about that with myself. That is what I'm going to stick with. And they're going to get these torn out here because these are going to be our little kind of double boxed areas for safety. Yeah, that looks a lot better with the orbital trade beacons. I didn't have to run wires to them, so I'm perfectly fine with that. So we'll get those set up. I do know I want to have the trade area set up down here, the landing zone area. So we've got that, plus the game has the ship landing beacons, and then we've also got a trading spot and a drop spot. So I'm just going to set up a whole trade station down here. I don't know, maybe like a commerce building or something like that, you could call it. So that we can use all of that. So yeah, I think I might send Dr. Phil out. He could probably get around the zombies. I think he's going to be heading south, though, is going to be the problem. Or maybe he'll head east. There's still more buildings I'd like to take Lord to go search too. Vanometric power cells and the whatnot. And I really want to get these mechanoid bodies at some point picked up, but I really think it's going to be a while till we can get that. Look at all the Muffalo on the map. Pretty cool that they've wandered on here and they've so far been unscathed by these zombies. Yeah, it's just the one centipede roaming around, causing all sorts of mayhem. Oh no, there's another one here. Melee fighting a zombie right now. See, onesies and twosies. That's why I gotta be careful, because if I leave the base and run into one of those, we could be in for a bit of a treat. So these stockpiles here, they're set up pretty good already. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and copy these settings. These stockpiles can still hold steel and stone, but these are just set to critical. So they'll store here before they store in the regular stockpiles. So I think I'm just gonna keep the stockpiles as is. So basically creating stockpile zones here and then just copying the settings. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do it on pause real quick so they don't start hauling too much. There, and it just becomes one gigantic stockpile, which makes it pretty convenient. And we'll copy the settings. It doesn't really matter which one, they should all be the same. So we'll copy the settings out of this and paste the settings over into here. There we go. And then we're gonna start eliminating these stockpiles. Could do them all at once. It's probably not a bad idea. Let's start with this one though, because I want to see how full the stockpiles actually get before I go crazy with getting everything hauled. There's tons of items up here that still need to be hauled, so we've really got to get those in there. I don't want anything here to go bad, because a lot of this we can use. Circadian half cycler, a signal redirector which isolates half of the brain, allowing the other half to sleep with the other, while the user remains outwardly awake. By alternating brain halves, the user never needs to sleep. Unfortunately, 2 hemispheres are better than 1. Working with half a brain causes a reduction in consciousness. Oh, I'm so tempted to give that to somebody, but I don't know who I would give that to. But I definitely like the thought of it. All right, Dr. Phil, let's see. What's up with you? Why you got the healing enhancer, you slept in the cold, you ate without a table. All right, so he's going to get some sleep here, and then we might form a caravan to send him off to do a little bit of doctoring stuff with that tribe so we can get the quest points for it. Did they get this already roofed? Probably not, because, yeah, I figured the least. So we will go ahead and just ignore all roofing area, and then they probably would build it themselves, but let me just go ahead and designate it so I can make sure that if it's destroyed for some reason, they'll always come back and build it. And we'll see if any of that roofing does collapse. I do believe I thought it through and got it, so we should be all right. Look at them go. We're going to need some light in here as well, I just realized. There we go. Wall lights. Oh, we got the wall sunlights as well. If we want to do... Oh, yeah, winter's... It's already September. Oh, boy. Okay, we're going to want to keep that in mind. All right, let's do some light here. And here. And let's do it on the inside there, and then I can make up my mind if I think I need more. I want to do all wall lights. I hate the standing lamps. They take up a spot anyways that you would normally be able to store something, so if I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. All right, hauling bots are doing a wonderful job. And 1,000 zombies, so we got another zombie attack. Oh, okay. So another one spawning in the south. They've all been spawning in the south. It's a very, very popular zone for them. There it is. You know, Randy has been giving me zombie attacks much more often than anything else. All right, I'll let the game's kind of slowing down a bit as they spawn. See, I might have to go, believe it or not. Okay, there's a lot of muffaloes nearby there that might kind of fight those a bit. We'll see if they wander towards the base and get shot up by turrets, but we might have to head down there at some point. These large groups of zombies spawning, they can be a real doozy. Maybe see if we can't pull. I know I want to send Dr. Phil out of here. I'll let him get his recreation up and such. I better send somebody with him. Lord would be a great idea, especially because Lord is in like absolutely awesome mood right now. Catharsis and everything. He's just going to get, he's going to play the harpsichord a bit. Maybe get something to eat. You know, I could actually get rid of the marble columns and put a wall, or even just put a wall next to where the marble columns are, since I can't put wall lights on the marble columns. But we'll see how the wall lights actually do for illuminating. They're starting to get them all built up now. And items are already starting to get hauled. Let's plan on doing slate tile here and here just to finish that off. I might move those doors. I don't know yet. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I won't. Because I know these doors. I don't know if I'll move that one, but I definitely might end up moving the other one. But we can finish the slate tile off here because I know I'm not going to do anything else with this these corners. Could always become more storage space or something, but why does it seem like it cut me one short? I might have laid that out wrong. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. No, I guess not. It just... Oh, it's because I'm building one out from here and I'm not... Okay, I was looking at that and I'm like, those are off, but that's why. That actually makes sense. Okay, then I'm going to slate tile all the way across here. And all the way across here. And then we might as well just carry this as far as we can right there. Actually, just carry it all the way. That'll finish this up to right where I'm going to build that new... Oh, I can't do that just yet, but right to where I'm going to build that new entrance. Okay, so that works. All right, Phil. I think you and Lord makes sense to take both of you guys there. So I'm going to go ahead and form a caravan. Now, I don't actually do this too often, so you got to bear with me. I'm not very good at this. Oops, no. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. I don't normally leave my base. So, except we will take Lord and Dr. Phil. We're going to probably want some medicine. Nothing crazy, probably just some regular medicine. And I know we got to take some food with us, which we've got plenty of food. Where is the medicine? Jesus, there's a lot of items here. Travel supplies, that's what it's gonna be under. We don't take any items. We might go trade with somebody at some point, but all right, medicine. So it would be probably medicine and then the simple meals. Days of food. Oh, is it already recommending some medicine, some glitter world medicine, and the package survival meals over anything else? But that actually probably makes sense. 18.8 tiles a day, so they should be fine. Your caravan only has 4%. You become hungry quickly. Are you sure we're going to form this caravan? Yeah, 4.7 days. How long is it going to take us to get there? I can reset it. Oh, it automatically selects travel supplies. Well, that's actually pretty cool. That must be new. Let me try that again then. I've never seen that. I'm not taking any items. Yeah, and it automatically gives me a couple of the... Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good idea, actually. All right, yeah. Okay, let's make sure... We should make a form caravan spot. Probably... Designated spot for forming caravans. Put this near your stockpiles to speed up the caravan loading process. Yeah, that would be something we would set up out here. I'm going to put it actually in here for now. So one spot gone, but that's all right. So the caravan spot, the trade spot, all of that's going to go down here once once all of the flooring and stuff is removed. Okay, so there's the other quest. Wow, that's just coming up. Why does it feel like the game's going so slow compared to normal? All right. And they're going to grab the stuff from these stockpiles here. Lord and him already going to get the package survival meals, get the medicine. There's freaking 1,100 zombies on the map, and holy crapola. So they're heading off this way. In fact, a lot of them are being drawn right now towards the gunfire, and they're also going to fight what appears to be a massive group of wild boars that came onto the map at some point. The rest of them here dripping out, and at this point in time, there's really no threats here besides themselves. So this could be interesting. We'll see if the gunfire kind of pulls them in that direction. I'm hoping the muffalo and the wild boars will thin the herd a little bit, but a lot of them are drifting off this way. I gotta keep an eye on Lord and Dr. Phil as they gather up their gear to leave. I definitely don't want something to happen to them. And let's see, what is Arch up to? Or Arc, potato. He wants to go haul some wood and looks like maybe work on the floor a bit. I actually wouldn't mind him working on removing flooring, especially in the area we're going to be building or setting up all of our trade areas. I do need to get the double doors set up here at some point. Well, the double wall in general needs to be set up. I just haven't done it yet. If I don't do that and we get a raid, we're probably going to regret it. But let me have him at least start removing some of the floor area here, since he's just hanging out anyways and he's not. He doesn't appear to be tired or anything. This building completely collapsed or something, or burned down or something entirely, so it just opened up into a whole new area. And these centipedes, two of them actually, there's another centipede here. They might find their way down there eventually to fight the zombies, but they wouldn't stand a chance at all. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at the way they bloom out from the area here. This could actually end up being a little bit more of a threat because the whole bottom part of the map's now closed off. So if we want to leave and try to get some items off of here with caravans, it could be tricky. Now these guys here are going to be leaving off in this direction, which I kind of presumed. And it actually doesn't look like it's too bad of a gig. One warg over here shouldn't give us a hard time. And we've got some zombies over here, but they should really be able to make short work of them. I've actually managed to keep this area walled off here so these zombies from the north can't drift off to this area. And that makes life a little bit easier. There we go. A couple zombies being drawn to the sound of the gunfire, but they shouldn't give us a hard time. I'll be pretty happy actually doing this quest because should give us some bonus points with this faction that we're going to help. And I think Dr. Phil will handle it very nicely. All right, let's go ahead and get that donkey if we can, actually, because the kitchen boss should be able to head right off that way. We'll find out. Let's see if he actually heads that way. Neither of them are yet. I can't remember if I have them restricted to home or not. A hauling bot will head over there, though. I think. Do I? Oh, everybody's restricted to home. All right, I'm going to take one of the kitchen bots, the not as nice one, obviously. So kitchen bot 4. And we'll put him on unrestricted because he can go gather some animals and stuff. I like the donkey. Because we could use the meat. I know there's buffalo, wild boar, and stuff down at the south. I'm not going to let them take those, though. He might actually not even go grab it because there is literally no room here in our freezer. I was thinking about making all of this freezer once I got rid of this stockpile, but you can see that the hauling bots have not even kept up at all. So I guess no big deal. All right, let's have my character go ahead and start removing the flooring here because that'll be a nice easy task for him. No Name meanwhile is already heading down to remove flooring down here. Let's have him actually do this flooring. And the bots are handling the little bit of constructing that floor. And here goes our characters. All right, off the map and heading off to help hopefully some future friends that we'll be able to utilize to help us out. Ooh, look at these zombies go. At least we didn't have to head down south to handle that. They are finishing off the wild boars. This last wild boar trying to flee, but he's found himself in a dead-end area. Oh, he'll get through that door. But that'll only probably buy him a little bit of time. Turrets here shooting at the zombies, and they are being drawn towards the sound of the gunfire, but then the fresh scent of meat up here is drawing them more further north. This group of zombies will actually live to spread out and encompass the southern part of the map because normally the fires do a lot of damage, but since it's raining right now, these zombies are coming out mostly unscathed, so they will continue to keep branching. I've actually almost considered turning off the electric zombies so fires wouldn't start, so the zombies would not die to burning as often. But I do know that the electric zombies, eventually after everything's burned and the map progresses more and more, they, zombies stop getting burned because there's less buildings to catch fire, so it doesn't become as much of a problem. It's just like an early game kind of thing. Let's check on our guys here. Yep. 6.5 days. That's the Blue Moon Corporation, actually, is what that is. They're hostile towards us, but going there should see that we can help that some. That'll make me pretty happy. All right, we'll speed things up a bit and see if we can let the game kind of do that without stuff going crazy. The game does like to get kind of wild when you speed it up, and why do I hear gunshot that sound really close to me? Ah, because there's a centipede up here and tank zombies, and they're probably going to knock my wall down. Builder bot going to do a little bit of repairing, though. I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to deconstruct that. because they didn't form the caravan there anyways, and I already know I'm going to build a new one down here, so no point in keeping that one up. They're already getting all of that done. We're doing pretty good on machining, but still a little ways away from that. All these bedrooms can actually get deconstructed, and then I'm going to take the flooring out of the whole center part of this. And as for the stockpiles, if a trader was to land or show up right now, we wouldn't have much to trade. So I really do got to delete these other stockpiles here so we can get this stuff moved sooner rather than later. That's going to keep the hauling bots unbelievably slammed. I actually should probably corner off one of these and make just a little area to put hauling bots. The hauling bots would do great in the corners of the storage area, and it probably makes the most sense on where to put them. I never really thought about it until now. I could put them in this area, but they're going to take up valuable real estate with our stockpiles, so yeah, I might actually do that. Yeah, see, I can speed up the game, but it don't go a whole lot faster because the zombies. That's all right. Our friends here will make it, and in fact, they'll make it in the next episode since we're out of time. So, gives you guys a really good look at the base and what's going on as I've been kind of progressing it just a little bit. I like this here. I'll go ahead and lay out some of the other areas we're going to install here so we can get that done here in the next episode. I think I'm going to start putting the second level of walls on because, God, I got to say Randy's going to give us something here at some point other than a zombie attack. Ooh, these zombies actually did manage to spread out very nicely. So they will start taking that whole south part of the map. The whole south part's kind of been under control for a while now. This was the part that actually beat most of the mechanoids when they landed, and took that whole part over. Hopefully we don't get attacked too as Lord and Dr. Phil are gone. That could be a real problem as well. Something I didn't really think about until after I sent them. But I think it'll be good with what they're doing anyways. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Hope that you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you next time.